Hello. Hi. Good evening.
Good evening.
There we go. That's how you know you're home. Say it again. Good evening.
Good evening.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is beautiful to see you all out tonight for this incredible event. My name is Amanda Johnston. I'm the founder and executive director of Torch Literary Arts. We amplify Black women writers with intention and love. So thank you for coming to be a part of that good work. Okay. We are also here in the beautiful George Washington Carver Museum. Round of applause for them. Thank you to the Carver and incredible staff for opening their doors to us and allowing us to have this event here. We are proud partners with the Carver Museum and look forward to doing more events in the future. Some of you may know there was a bond passed a few years ago, and so we're very excited that the theater is being renovated now. So, this is our home. Do come and support the Carver, and after tonight's reading, check out the permanent exhibit. Do go in and see that. That Juneteenth exhibit has been there longer than the federal holiday. All right, because we're in Texas. Juneteenth has always been our holiday. But I want to keep it moving with a couple more thanks. I also want to thank the Texas Book Festival. Torch Literary Arts is a proud partner of the Texas Book Festival, and with their support, we're able to curate our readings and panels and events during one of the largest festivals in the country. They're expecting between 40 and 50,000 people to participate in the Texas Book Festival. So what a time to celebrate and champion reading, writing, and authors, right? I know we know the headlines that we see of what's happening in the world today. Love on your writers, love on your authors. They do the work so that we can have the books, regardless of what other people say, right? So with that, I'll say to buy books. Make sure you buy books. These books are for display. Please don't take my books. But I wanted you to see all the incredible authors that Torch is celebrating during the festival. You can purchase books from the festival tomorrow. There is a big book tip by book people. So please buy books there and get them signed by all these incredible authors who are going to be here this weekend. I also want to thank our incredible Torch team. Woo-hoo! Round of applause. Who work tirelessly to make Torch shine brightly for Black women writers and the literary community in Central Texas and around the world. Thank you to our donors, the City of Austin Cultural Arts Division, the Poetry Foundation, the Birding Johnson Foundation, the National Endowment for the Arts, the Tingari Silverton Foundation, and hundreds of individual donors just like you who support us and our core programming so that we can make it free and accessible to everyone. And thank you all for coming out tonight. We got a little drizzle out there. Sometimes, that couch in bed feel more comfortable than anything else in the world. But you're going to be glad that you came out and you didn't miss tonight's amazing reading. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and introduce these incredible authors. Y'all ready? Yeah. We're going to welcome Rachel Eliza Griffiths. All right. I will preface in saying these are condensed biographies. These women have done a lot in their extraordinary careers. So please learn more about them online at Torch Literary Arts. But for time's sake, Rachel Eliza Griffiths is a multimedia artist, poet, and novelist. She's the recipient of numerous fellowships, and her work has been featured widely. Griffiths is the author of Miracle Arrhythmia, The Requited Distance, Mule and Pear, Lighting the Shadow, Seeing the Body, and her debut novel, Promise. Griffiths is widely known for her literary portraits, fine art photography, and lyric videos. Griffiths also is the image designer for the libretto, Castor and Patience, written by Tracy K. Smith, U.S. Poet Laureate, and composer Gregory Spears, which premiered in July 2022 at the Cincinnati Opera House. Please welcome Rachel Eliza.
First of all, I just want to praise the space that we're in, the George Carver Washington Museum. If we could just clap again. It feels very powerful and special to be here, and then I would really love if we could praise and applaud again for Torch. I'm truly honored to be here. I appreciate, she's standing behind me, so I want to look back and then for you to hear me. I could not begin to read from my novel without expressing so much gratitude and sisterhood and solidarity and admiration and just pure love for Amanda and her vision of Torch, which I witnessed. I met Amanda in 2006, so y'all can do math, okay? But I was saying to Vievee, like, we girls, you know? And in that vein, in that respect, I am thrilled and humbled to be here with you and to be here as part of the Texas Book Festival. I love me some Texas. And I am going to be reading to you from my debut novel, Promise, which came out in July. I picked 3 small excerpts that I'll read from the novel. This is so different from reading from poetry. I could usually kind of just begin with poems. What I can tell you about Promise, and I know because you'll be buying the book tomorrow, that this is a story about 2 young Black girls who are 13 and 15 years old, who are coming of age in a very remote northern sea village in Maine in 1957 at the dawn of the Civil Rights Movement. Not the beginning of the Civil Rights Movement, but a place where it was picking up its energy. And so, as they're coming of age in America at that time, they are also coming into awe and astonishment and bewilderment about their bodies and their futures as young Black girls. So the first passage I'm going to read to you is about a game that Cynthia, who is the primary character, the protagonist of the book, and my hero, she and her sister Ezra are playing a game with a local white girl named Ruby, who is one of their only friends, in this small village called Salt Point. We are standing in a triangle. Ruby and Ezra face me. After I watched Ezra remove hers, I held my underwear to Ruby without looking at her face. Having anyone but Mama touch my panties make me feel they are touching something they aren't supposed to. I'm both cool and sticky. I shake my hips a little, twisting my body so that the wind can blow against my sides. Ruby balls our underwear together and shoves the damp lump into the pocket of her dress. She turns her head. Her black bangs look like the visor of a gladiator's helmet knocked askew. Her eyes, deep blue, are darker than the blue sky that somehow feels larger to me now that I've taken off my white cotton underwear. Ruby sits down on the hot rocks. Ezra sits. I sit. Ruby stretches her legs into a V, and Ezra does the same, squirming and sliding in the dust until one of her feet touches Ruby's. She jerks her right foot back and forth, irritably, to indicate that I follow. I push myself back, feeling the skin on my palms scrape against the jagged rock. My legs too open into a V. I angle my left foot so that it leans against my sister's. I realize my right foot should lean against Ruby's foot. I don't want to touch Ruby's feet. She isn't even wearing shoes. I duck my head to look over at Ez, who is staring at me evenly. I can hear her Mama's voice cussing in my mind. Her eyes have rolled so far back, she can see out the back of her head. Hyacinth Kindred, what in the Lord's world do you think you're doing? And if you're thinking about what I would say, then maybe you already know. You shouldn't be doing it either, because where is the good daughter I raised? Mama never says anything like that to my sister Ezra, Never ask Ezra about thinking, because Ez simply does a thing without thinking in the first place. Do it already, says Ezra, it's hot up here. With force, I shove the sole of my sandal against Ruby's bare foot, hopeful that it will hurt her. I'm not touching a white girl, shithead, says Ruby. Don't talk to my sister like that, says Ezra quickly. She the one messing everything up. Heat pools beneath us. I worry whether ants are capable of crawling between my legs and up inside me. I can picture a thin black trail of them marching diligently between my organs, stomping along the slimy roof of my stomach, then through the church of my heart, and finally up through the tunnel of my throat, right into my brain, which I imagine is inlaid with gems, like a cathedral. How many ants could really fit up there in my head? Then I think about peeing ants into the toilet at home and almost begin laughing. Ruby's and Ezra's faces have darkened beneath the afternoon sun. They're trying to figure something out for themselves. They feel that if they can look at each other, see through each other, they may very well figure out why the world is so intense for our white and black bodies not to see each other. I don't know what it is they're trying to figure out, except that what we're doing and would also absolutely mean a punishment if our parents found out. Mama and Daddy don't believe in what Miss Irene calls switch love, but Ruby's papa, Mr. Skaggs, believes in beatings. He certainly does. He beats Ruby and her mother whenever he thinks they are happy and could live without him. Move in a bit, says Ezra, biting her lip. Ruby grunts, obeys. I adjust my legs and press forward. My leg grazes Ruby's skin, which is hot. I've never thought about her skin before, except to complain about it being white. I think of Mama, as I often do, and everything she does for us to keep us safe. In the early evening before our dinner, Mama will wash our hair and style it for our first day of school tomorrow. Already, I can hear her asking me about the dust, and why is there filth in my scalp? Have I lost my mind and been playing in the dirt just to make more work for her? Mama will tug the comb against my roots in frustration. I hold sweat in my hair, especially after I've been playing hard. She says tangled instead of nappy, like I don't know that my hair, especially at the base of my head, is impenetrable when it gets wet. Mama likes our hair to look nice because she knows white people are always thinking about our hair. Growing up, Mama had no help with her own hair because she was raised in a convent. Daddy said not to upset Mama by asking her too much about what she was like as a girl. Most of it, Mama has buried deep inside herself, and we only glimpse it when she hangs up on her grandmother or goes into the closet of her heart with a glass of whiskey and Sam Cooke. Maybe this is why Ezra and I turn so often to Miss Irene for her wisdom, which she says comes from her mother, her grandmother, and her great-grandmother, who are all still alive. They keep something girlish alive in Miss Irene, while we watch Mama reject our grandmother at each turn. It is hard to not ask our own mother about who she once was, aware that such questions could drive her away from sharing with us what she has made for herself, and for us, her daughters.
Incredible. Thank you so much, Rachel. All right. So now we will welcome Vievee Francis. Vievee Francis is the author of Horse Primeval, winner of the 2017 Kingsley Tufts Award, Horse in the Dark, winner of the Cave Canem Northwestern University Press Poetry Prize, Blue Tail Clock, and her most recent collection of poems, The Shared World. Her work has appeared in numerous print and online journals, textbooks, and anthologies. Born in West Texas. Welcome back. She serves as an associate editor of Callaloo and an associate professor of English and creative writing at Dartmouth College. Please welcome Vievee Francis.
Brave me, and I'll sing. My voice like marrow, a blood yolk spilled above the counter. You can't stop this song. More hands than yours have closed around my throat. You may crack me. You have cracked me. I'm frightened, but so what? I'll testify. Witness if you can. Listen. I slurped the frog leg soup gone bad. Held the brass spoon like a barrel to my mouth. I could tell you what you want to hear, but I'd be broken just the same, so why not sing? I'm singing now, louder this time, and in the round. We are a wounding of red-plumed birds, every voice, a bloody feather in the bone ground. I'm really happy to be here. I'm happy to be reading and standing with my sisters Rachel and Amanda. Happy to see my father here and my brother. Happy to see old friends, and some very old friends I'm checking out too from mine. And I'm approaching 60 and I'm feeling, for those of you over 60, you remember this feeling. A call to arms. A call to arms came as the lanterns floated upward on a night of celebration, and as flares spun upward out of the fear of those who set them. As shawled women smiled in the night, prayed in the night, and just as many ran through the swallowing night. As a bed was shared between two committed to shepherding each other, and as others committed themselves to harm. As doctors took their hypocritical oaths. As dentists clenched their own teeth. As a young woman was killed by an angry man, a stranger, because he was and remains angry at his mother, his life and the opportunities he let go and blamed others for the loss. I am telling you, the call to arms came as we slept and as we marched, and as we questioned and as we hid our heads in the dust of nostalgia or our spent dreams of the future, and as bills were repealed, and as debt grew and values diminished, as women decided other women mattered less, and the doors began to close and close and close and close and close and close, and those who had opened them were marked for what we refused to imagine or acknowledge, death, though this is not the first time. And I heard the call to arms like a moan from a drain, desperately clogged, like the lowing of cows in drought, like the impotent drone of governors and the great blather of cities, questioning the hours without answer, and no one satisfied by the moment, this moment. I hear the call and realize I am not the lion but the deer, that I must resort to my feet and my wits amid a storm of claws, on a day that began as any other day, and I can't tell you why I hear what you refuse to hear, or won't admit, like the pounding of your own heart upon hearing this. I won't be able to get through this. I'm a emotional person. Make me weak. That ugly cry, you know what I'm talking about? The shared word. Into the bowl of your ear, I whispered the secret story. Now you can't sleep either. Consider it part of Consider it part of your own memory. It connects our childhoods that would have otherwise never crossed. I fell down, your knee was scraped. I stuffed the yellow cake into my mouth and your stomach cramped. When you were abandoned, grief filled my life. The private ravages of our spent youth and adulthood now implicitly intimate. You want to pull me to you because I have already softened your sharp elbows. I might have sucked the lobe of your ear, though so many have you wouldn't recognize me there. The pressure of your fingers in my shoulder leaves a firm impression, as if in me I had touched myself. We are insomniacs, the grip of the night freeing us from the slept-through day and its demands. It is true, once you know, you can't unknow. So we ruminate on literature and the gods, and continually seek the ousia of the antique jug, though we need no wine really. We are eager to get on with it, this living, this conversation, this trip water, keeping us tied, kite to string, present to past, arrow to quiver. This is the cover of my most recent book, Fear. And this is Selma on the Bridge, 1965.